G'day folks. So this video follows on from the previous video on Romley Stewart and the two birth certificates which I discussed. I'll quickly recap some of the terms I'll be using. The surname birth certificate is the birth certificate that nearly everyone has and has their surname in all caps on it. And the Christian name birth certificate is the birth certificate Romley obtained by providing the registration date on the surname birth certificate and his Christian name only. So when he's asked for his full name, he gave only the Christian name, and when asked for his date of birth, he gave the date of registration on the surname birth certificate as opposed to the date of his physical birth. Okay, that's how he obtained this document. Well, in his video, you can't see the document. He's got it up on a wall, on a whiteboard, but you can't make out any details. And that was part of what was discussed in the previous video. Somebody said that it is available on Facebook and provided me with a link to the document. So I've got that now for you, and I'll show it to you. Now, it's not the full and complete document, which I'm quite concerned about. And not only would I like to see the full front page of the document, I would also like to see the full reverse side of that document, the obverse, to see if anything's written there. But this is what we have for now. So we're going to have a quick look at it, and I'll just draw a couple of things out of it that I've noticed. You may find more. It does evidence that the document exists. That's a certainty. So anyway, without going any more into that, let's just have a look at the document, shall we? So there it is on your screen. Now remember, all caps is something that we're focused on. We know that all caps, any words written in all capital letters are deceiving us and are not what we think they are. So let's look at that, and what I want to just point out, as I pointed out in other documents on the royal family and the like, where I've got their birth certificates or records of birth. Notice that this document is partially written in all capitals and partially not. And I ask you, who, when they're filling in a document, changes the style of writing? You don't do it unless it's purposeful, and it is purposeful. And if you're looking at this for the first time, I've touched on all this in many previous videos. So we note that as we come down and look at the first bit of handwriting there, we've got District of Cairns, and Cairns is in all caps. However, when we've got the date the date when born, that's not in all caps. Where born, not in all caps. Cairns Base Hospital. Christian name of child, Romley Stewart, all caps, which to me says corporation. Alright? Albeit a different corporation from the legal name corporation, the surname corporation. But I just want to be clear, Romley Stewart's legal name is Romley Stewart Stover. Well, whether it's his or not is a whole other issue. The legal name Romley Stewart used for much of his life was Romley Stewart Stover. Romley Stewart is the man's Christian name only. Stewart is not his surname. Most of you would say that Stewart was his middle name, but as I've gone into in previous videos, Romley Stewart, in contemplation of law, is but one name, even though it comprises two parts, Romley and Stewart. Okay, so just want to be clear, Romley Stewart is the man's Christian name. None of that. Romley Stewart is not a surname. There's no surname in Romley. Stewart is not a surname. Hope I've made that clear. Then we go sex male, and again we don't need to use all caps when we write male. Come down to the father's name. Both the Christian name Joseph William is in all caps, and the surname is in all caps. Professional trade in all caps. But then when we write the date of marriage, don't need to write that in all caps. And then the only other thing I'd note there is previous children of father living. Well, there's some sort of code there. You see that above that, it's like GW3630/54. I don't know what that means. I could hypothesise that the 54 refers to 1954. Romley was obviously born in 1956. His mother and father were married in 1954, so 54 could refer to a sibling of Romley's that was born in 54, but there's no name there. And if you look above that, they've got a dash. And normally you put a dash where there's no information to be entered there. The dash indicates that you put a dash to say, I haven't missed this question, it's just there was nothing to put here. So they put a dash, and that's what I'd normally take that to mean. And then they've got this GW, or maybe it's CW, or maybe it's CN, I don't know, 3630-54. Why is that there and what does it mean? I can't shed any more light other than to perhaps hypothesise that the 54 is somehow a reference to 1954. What the other part of it means, 3630 isn't, I can't relate that to a date. You could say 30 was the day, but then there's no 36th month of the year, so I'm at a loss to know what that code means, but be certain it means something. And it wouldn't be on this document if it wasn't of some significance. Okay, so that's what we can draw from that. So the Christian name birth certificate does exist as a real document. Clearly what we see there is a truncated version, and it's partially obscured by that pen. But we do note that the name Romley Stewart, the Christian name, has been fully capitalised, which to me says corporation. And I've done other videos on that. You'll have to go and look at those if you want to know what I'm talking about. The only other thing I'd like to draw to your attention is what's written running down the page on the right-hand side there, which is what we can read there is John, it's probably David John, Registrar General, do hereby certify that this is a true photographic copy, and then we lose it. Something, Brisbane, and I further certify that I have been declared an approved person, and we don't know what it says. We've got the date, which is April 2015, and then it's signed David John, Registrar General. I just wonder, David John, I know John can be a surname, but it's more usually a Christian name. Has anyone made absolutely certain that the name David John is a Christian name with a surname, the surname being John? Or is David John his Christian name, what most people would call his first name and middle name, without being surnamed? Is he surnamed there or not? I know John can be a surname, but it's not. It's pretty unusual. John's, with an S on the end of it, is a more usual surname of that nature, of that style. Could it be? Also note, every name that you see on that document there, the only one that's not fully capitalised is David John. Now, I just want to take you back to, in the previous video, I referred you to a comment section of a video where Romley and I had a back and forth conversation through the video. Well, there's been much more said since then, and it relates to this specific issue. And I'll now just take you to that a video I prepared on that, and we'll have a look at that. So folks, this is the video where Romley and I have had a bit of a back and forth in the commentary section, and I'll just take you down to that now. And I'm not going to, I'll put a link in the description so you can find this. This is starting where Romley or Justinian deception. I'm assuming it's Romley that's posting these and not someone else. It's certainly a Justinian deception YouTube channel. So we'll assume it's Romley. This is a comment he's just made in response to Mr. X, who said something nice. This is where I started in the previous video with my comments, and I'm not going to stop and look at all this. That's me making a comment, that's Romley responding. This is me coming back with another comment and another comment. Someone named Dennis Land's there, but we'll just skip over that and go to Romley's. Here's Romley's reply to Dennis Land, and there's me replying to Dennis Land. There's me speaking to Romley. Romley responds there. I respond to that. It's quite a bit of detail, as you can see. And again, a little bit more. Romley responds to me in quite a bit of detail. I respond to what he said in quite a bit of detail. He responds to me again. I respond to him. he responds to me. I respond with a few there. This is where I was on the phone to Births, Deaths and Marriages in the courthouse, chasing up this document. And at the end I say, hi Romley, I appreciate we have had a long conversation through this comment section, but for me, we are right at the point of breaking through a barrier. So I rang New South Wales Births, Deaths and Marriages, and I also rang the local New South Wales courthouse. Both of them refused to acknowledge a certificate of live birth, and I have pushed very hard. So, can you please give some details of how and from whom Rowan got his certificate of live birth? In New South Wales, do I apply through Births, Deaths and Marriages, the courthouse, or someone else? Rowan must have come up against these difficulties obtaining the document. Can you tell me how he got past these roadblocks? And ID. Do they want ID? What ID do you give to get a live birth certificate? You have been so patient and we have put a lot of time into our comments. Let's not drop the ball now when we are at the finish line. Help me get this document. I want out all the way. So, as you can see, that's a long commentary section, and I guess what I find interesting is that having gone back and forth over the course of many days in this back and forth discussion, at the point where Romley's able to do something of real substance for me, which is show me how to obtain this document, or tell me how Rowan obtained it, he suddenly drops the conversation. So I'm not sure what to make of that. I'm not sure why you would do that. I just don't understand why he wouldn't respond at this point. I'm saying forget it. I've basically said in the previous comments, and you can read them all if you want to go there. I've said forget everything that's gone before. Just tell me how to get this document, and I will get that, and then I'll go away and research it. Who knows? That might take me days. It might take me weeks. It might take me months to get everything out of that other document. But just tell me how I can get hold of it, because I'm being told by the local courthouse and by Births, Deaths and Marriages New South Wales that there is no such thing. And I did not just go timidly when they said, oh, we don't have that. I argued with them, and I sent them back, and I insisted they took it up the chain of command. And they continually, 3 or 4 times I sent them back. I said, you're wrong, there is such a document. I've seen evidence of one, and I want to know how to get hold of it. So they're stonewalling, clearly, but I'm sure that Rowan must have met similar stonewalling, and he's obviously found a workaround. Can you share that with me? And Romley's withdrawn from the conversation at this point. The point where something of substance was about to take place. So, as I say, I just don't know what to make of that. All right, I'll leave that there, folks. See ya.